Hi, this is Trev and welcome to my blog. Welcome to another exciting episode. What we got coming up in this show is heat shrinking, and I'm going to show you the very basics again. I'm not going to go mad. I'm not going to show you how to use a jet spot or a £6,000 spot welder, because let's face it, you know, us guys, we haven't got much cash, have we? And, so I'm going to keep it really basic. What I thought I'd do is I thought I'd use a blow lamp and a hammer, nothing more. So that's pretty much all the tools I use. Oh, block of wood, yeah. So I could go mad, but I'm not going to, because I want to keep it very basic. I want to keep it cheap, you know. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. I've done some heat shrinking in this classic weak point area of a wing or a panel edge where you've got the lip that tucks under. What happens is the panel's been forced about and it's split the lip underneath, so the lip's been welded up and you end up with a stretched section on the top. This isn't necessarily to do with the welding, but the welding doesn't help because it's right on the edge, and it's probably where the panel's been stressed because it's split, because it's been under stress, and then it's stretched the material around the split, which means that there's more steel there than there needs to be, and you end up with a big bulge sticking out, and you can't get rid of it. So this will be our demonstration subject. This has also got a split. See the split opening up? This doesn't seem to be stretched around the area, but what I'll do is I'll weld it up first and see if it is stretched afterwards. It's actually got quite a dent there, so I need to bring the dent up the other way. But we've definitely got a stretched area just here. Quite significantly stretched, as you can see. So what I'll do is I'll do a demonstration on this to show you how it can be removed. And sometimes it's a little bit hard to identify something that's been stretched. The best way of normally finding it is you try and tap the dent in, and what tends to happen is the panel flip-flops, I call it, and what it's doing is it's popping in, popping out, because it's stretched. So you press down on it and it goes like that. Then you push it back the other way and it goes like that. You end up with this high spot that you can't get rid of. And I've seen guys that have been in the trade for years and years and they still haven't worked out how to sort this problem out. So if you can master this skill, this is definitely something worth knowing. So I've welded up the split really well, utilising the piece of copper as explained in the previous videos. So if you haven't watched that, I suggest you go and watch that. So inspecting the face of the panel, we can just about see in the light, well I can see it on my screen anyway, that we've indeed got a dent there, as I'd already pointed out before I welded it up. We've also got a high spot going on here. So this high spot is definitely standing up proud of the panel, but we've got the dent. You must always raise your low spots first, bring them up, because very often a low spot and a high spot together, if they're equaled out, you end up making the panel completely flush. If you just launch straight in and start trying to heat shrink this down, you'll end up with a huge low spot and then have to repair the whole lot again. So always get the low spots up before you do any shrinking work, and you may find that you don't have to do any shrinking work anyway. I've tapped the low spot up and I've tapped the high spot down. The high spot has certainly been absorbed into the material, and I don't think it's worth doing any more to this. There's a very slight ripple there that will certainly be removed by the painting processes. I just got that weld to file down before I do that. So let's move our attention to the front of the wing that's definitely stretched. So here again is our stretched area, and on the front of the wing you can see the light dragging around that dent that's sticking up just there. It kind of comes to a peak here and comes right out round here, so this whole area is quite well stretched, but this is the highest point, so that's where I'm going to concentrate the heat. So ready to start. I know you can't see it, but I've got the wing strapped down well, and I've got a piece of wood underneath the repair area. Now this isn't to act as a dolly. What this is to do is to stop me from putting any pressure on this lip, because the last thing I want to do is hit this down and then end up splitting the lip on the wing. So that's the last thing I want to do. So I've just put this underneath there to support that. Traditionally people would say use a tin man's mallet and a dolly behind. The idea is that the wooden mallet doesn't compress the steel and stretch it out, but that's not kind of the technique I'm trying to show you here. I'm trying to just show you something that's as basic as possible. And like I said, I'm just going to use an old blow lamp, a panel hammer, and my trusty wet rag, and we should be able to perform a bit of metal shrinking on this panel quite successfully with just those basic tools, because I just want to show you something that you can do with just basic stuff. You haven't got to invest hundreds of pounds in equipment. That's what the idea of this video is about, really. So let's light the blow lamp up. Gas is a bit low actually, so I'm hoping there's going to be enough heat to do what we want to do. So the highest peak is just around here, and that's exactly what I'm going to go for. I'm going to heat it up. I'm not going for you know, white hot or anything, just enough to bring it up. And what will happen is, as soon as I apply the heat, the panel will begin to stretch, and this can be quite alarming sometimes. So the panel has now come up like an egg. It's expanded no end. So I'll reheat it again. The trick is to catch it while it's hot. So I've put some heat into the area. Okay, at this stage, stop. Take the heat out of the panel. I can feel through the rag that we've still got issues. So yeah, although it's certainly improved, we've got a high spot that goes from there to there now. So what this has a tendency of doing as well is it'll transfer the damage to another part of the panel, and I'll perhaps discuss that a bit more in a minute. Let's just have another go at heat shrinking again. So as I said, certainly high here up to here, so I'll probably do like a line along there. Well, that's come out very well. What we have got is, we've got an area above. As I said, it does tend to transfer the damage on somewhere else. And it feels quite high around here, but the panel is curved anyway in this direction. And we've certainly got a low spot here, where we had a very, very high spot before. So I'm evaluating what to do for the best. Maybe tempted just to try and take a little bit out of this area. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I'll just try and take a little bit out of this. I'm not going to go mad. And then I'll planish the repair area up again, because we've got low spots going on as well. Okay, that's feeling pretty good. It's feeling pretty low, but that's not such a bad thing, because we can always tap a low spot up. or we can always put a skimmer filler over a low spot, but we can't get a stretched high spot down. That is why a high spot is so annoying, so hard to get rid of, because it's virtually impossible to disguise. I'll get the camera in at a better angle and show you how much I've taken out of this panel. So this panel should have a natural curve as it is here. So it's just gently curved. So I come towards the heat shrunk area. You can see now a gap appearing underneath the repaired area to show that it's too low. So where we had high before, we now definitely have low, which is a result. All we need to do is to do some dent flipping on this area to bring it back up again, and we could perhaps metal finish this, make a real nice job of it. So I've metal finished up that wing, and yeah, it's come out really nice. I'm really pleased with it. I've just spent the last few days building out the front of my van, making bumper brackets and bits and pieces, because what wasn't missing was no good. So I've had to make a lot of stuff. Got the front bumper fitting really nice now, and all my chrome trims fitted properly now, because I've obviously had to convert all that lot. I thought I'd just show you something quickly. Look at that patina. It almost seems criminal, doesn't it, to do anything with that. It took a long time to get like that. I'm sidetracked. What I was going to show you was some tools I made up, some hand tools. They look pretty archaic, but they're really useful. Just made out of old coil springs. So you got a coil like this. What the hell are you going to use that for? Well, if you've got a little high spot somewhere like just there, then you can pass the coil spring through and pull on it. Instantly you've got a nice little hand puller, and you can take a little dent out, high spot that in no time at all. So what I did is I improved upon this idea and made something that was a bit deeper. So I made this. This is just simply out of a coil spring that I straightened out with an oxygen acetylene torch. Put a nice little pointed end on the pick side. That's the handle side. The handle side end lines up with a pick, so that if you've got a dent somewhere up here, which is a long way from that headlamp hole, you can pass the tool all the way up to there. So I mean, it reaches all the way to there. You know that the end of that handle, the pick's going to be the other side, and you can pull that up nicely and easily get a dent out without grovelling under the wing or wherever else you've got to get to. So that was another bit of kit I made, one of my own little inventions there. And lastly, something else that looks absolute rubbish, but this has pulled out many sills and things like that. This is an old bonnet prop rod, just bent round with the door hinge welded to the end. What you do, the door hinge piece, you literally just MIG weld that to the inside of a deep dent that you've got that you need to pull out that just isn't having it at all. And you can get a piece of scaffold tube, something like this, something quite heavy you need. And you literally use this as a slide hammer. You slide this up the inside of that rod, hits the back of there, pulls the dent out, and it works more effectively than you would think it does. So thanks very much for watching that. I hope you got something from it. And I don't know what I'm going to do next. I was going to do a video on a compressor dryer, which I never got round to doing. I made a dryer for my compressor to remove, you know, the water out the airline. And I may do that, and I may not. I don't know. If you've got any requests, let me know. I'll do my best to help you out because I love all you guys. So I'll see you next time round. Bye for now.
Johnny.